Today we're tackling a hefty topic: toxic fatherhood and the telltale signs of an abusive dad. It is astounding how much this issue impacts all of us, yet it's not discussed nearly enough. So let's give a shout out to all the great and loving fathers out there who are doing it right. But for the others, let's get real. Guys, are you well into your adulthood but you find yourself struggling with relationships? Do you feel stuck at work and deeply worried about your children's well being? Do you often feel like you lack the tools to help them lead balanced and fulfilling lives, especially when your own life feels anything but balanced and fulfilling? This sounds like you. Then this video is for you. Every parent wants the best for their children, right? Last Sunday was Father's Day, a global occasion where people all over the world celebrated their fathers in their own unique ways. Some posted heartwarming tributes to their fathers, while others opted for a quieter celebration. Like many, I made my rounds calling those who've played a fatherly role in my life. Amidst these heartfelt exchanges, the British media was in full swing, taking potshots at none other than Prince Harry. This time, they gleefully pointed out that while Prince William posted a heartfelt tribute to their dad on social media, Harry didn't. That's classic toxic British media, isn't it? If Harry had posted anything on social media or their website, they would have accused him of trying to one up William. The media circus didn't stop there. They stoked the fire of the ongoing drama by insisting that King Charles is eager to see his grandkids, conveniently forgetting that he couldn't even pencil in time to meet Prince Harry during the Invictus Games anniversary. At this point, it is comical, isn't it? Or is it just plain predictable? It's clear they're still trying to spin the narrative against Harry, hoping for a fresh angle to manipulate him with. One wonders what the end game of all of this drama really is. After all, let's face it, Prince Harry isn't coming back in the same capacity ever. As a matter of fact, he's made it crystal clear that he's never going back. He's not about to compromise his family's security for titles or cash. If King Charles wants those titles back, he's got a bureaucratic marathon ahead, and Prince Harry is not about to make things easier on him, having offered these titles back during the Sandringham summit, only for the offer to be rejected. The media seems fixated on keeping the feud alive, which is not surprising considering that Prince Harry's got several court cases against the media. I mean, that's where it's always coming from. Let's not forget. As children, we often idolize our parents, but the harsh reality is that some fathers exhibit toxic behavior that deeply scars their children. Now, while the topic of toxic fathers might seem abrupt for a podcast, especially after reflecting on Father's Day and the ongoing media spectacle, it got me thinking about a conversation I had with my friend on that day. It was such a stimulating conversation that I felt the need to come on here to unpack it with you. And I'm about to dive into it right now. So, let's dive in. Let's revisit the conversation that I had with my friend Tony on Father's Day. So, as I had said before, I gave everyone who had played a fatherly role around me a ring on Father's Day to extend my felicitations, if you will. So, I called Tony to discuss something unrelated, but it only felt right to start by extending greetings for the occasion. Tony chuckled warmly and thanked me. Then he delved into a story about another friend of his who wasn't so thrilled with his Father's Day gift. This friend, a retired CEO, had received a bottle of whiskey and nuts from his son. The father grumbled that if it had been a gift for his wife, it would have been something more substantial like clothes, bags, perfumes, or even cash. Tony and I shared a laugh over what seemed like a touch of jealousy, and I probed Tony about the advice he offered to his friend in the circumstance. Tony's response was surprisingly straightforward. He said he had asked the man if he had covered his son's education, provided clothing, and a roof over his son's head. The answer to all these questions was yes. Tony advised his friend that he had fulfilled all his responsibilities during his son's upbringing and didn't need to be upset about his son's choice of gift now. To him, it didn't matter. His son was grown up and free to go on and live his life. Didn't need to be bothered about whether his son was looking back to nurture a relationship with his father. Now, when I heard this, I couldn't help but let out a loud groan, much to Tony's surprise. He asked me what was wrong. I told him straight up that his advice was toxic. Sure, anyone can throw money around, but being a dad is about way more than that. It's about nurturing a relationship. I challenged Tony to think beyond financial support. Had his friend actually built a bond with his son, shared wisdom, or even guided him through life's up and downs? That's the real measure of fatherhood, not just footing the bills. Tony sounded puzzled, prompting me to elaborate further. I clarified that anyone can provide food, clothes, and education, but being a dad entails creating an environment that nurtures emotional development and offers guidance. Crucial question isn't what more can be expected of a father, but whether he's invested in cultivating a bond that allows for meaningful guidance and support. At this, Tony fell silent, contemplating my words, and finally asked, "What else should a father be doing?" In that moment, it clicked for him. I was taken aback that Tony hadn't considered this perspective before. After all, he's a father of two. It hadn't occurred to me that such insight would be missing from his toolbox. In that moment, I remembered everything he had told me about his own upbringing, and in a flash, it became evident why he had struggled. And I felt a pang of regret that his friend had been influenced by his lack of understanding. It dawned on me that many men may not grasp how to be supportive and nurturing fathers because they had never received it themselves. This cycle perpetuates toxic behaviors across generations where good advice often gets lost in the shuffle. Helping Tony see this was going to be a challenge, but a necessary one to break the cycle. After all, I didn't want to see my friend not enjoy a good relationship with his own children. If you found value in this discussion and want to support the channel, there are several ways you can help. Donations go a long way in helping me create more content and bring you stories that matter. You can contribute through PayPal, Super Chat, Super Stickers, or buying me a coffee. Links are in the description box below. Your support means the absolute world to me and helps keep this channel running. Thank you for being part of this journey. So, back to my conversation with Tony. I asked him if he had ever heard the term toxic fatherhood. He said no. I then explained toxic fatherhood refers to a pattern of harmful parenting by a father figure. It can involve emotional or physical abuse, neglect, or a combination of these factors. At its core, toxic fatherhood stems from an inability or unwillingness to provide a nurturing, supportive environment for a child's healthy development. Tony listened intently, and I could tell that the gears were turning in his head. This is a crucial topic, especially for those men who are beginning to see the effects of their toxic behavior in their children and want to do better. But how do you know if you've been abusive? How do you know if you've been abused? Because the crazy thing is that our home relationship always seem normal to us, no matter how toxic they are, until we learn differently. There are different types of abuse, such as emotional, physical, neglect, control and dominance, and financial. We could go through all of them, but that would keep you here all day. Instead, I'll break down a few indicators of emotional abuse and leave you to research the rest, okay? So, recognizing the signs is the first step towards change. Emotional abuse can include belittling comments, constant criticism, using emotional blackmail, and neglect of emotional needs. Also, it includes responding to every little incident with explosive rage. When you display this behavior, you are toxic, and these are red flags to people on the receiving end of these behaviors. Understanding these behaviors can help you start to make positive changes. I am not trying to trigger anyone, but do these traits I just listed remind you of anyone? King Charles has displayed many of the traits of a toxic father. Rules without a relationship? Check. Responding to every little incident with explosive rage? Check. Refusing to show affection or ignoring the child's emotional needs? Check. Exercising dominance through financial control? Check, 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 and check. Interestingly, Meghan's father before the royal family saga appeared to be a better father than King Charles. However, he too, once infected by the royal family malaise, began to exhibit similar behaviors. Some of us go through our lives without ever realizing why we have found life so difficult in comparison to everyone else, thereby missing the chance to rectify the problems and improve our lives through healing and self parenting. If you're new to the healing journey and haven't yet figured out how to heal from the trauma of toxic fatherhood, you might dismiss everything I'm saying as soft female mumbo jumbo. You might be one of those who thinks that all a man needs is to be strong and tough, work hard, make money, get as many girls as he wants. Or you might just conclude that it's everybody else's fault. Well, I'm here to explain why creating a balance between the hard and soft side is crucial. That is, creating a balance between your functional and relational side. Statistics show that children who grow up in toxic environments often suffer long lasting psychological effects such as low self esteem and lack of confidence, anxiety and depression, difficulty in forming healthy relationships, emotional constraints and difficulty expressing emotions, perpetrating toxic behaviors, trust issues, and a negative worldview. These issues can result in higher divorce rates, an inability to advance in one's career, difficulty forming good relationships with your own children, and worse, passing down the same toxic behavior. This often shows up as a parent who always prioritizes work life over parenting and then gets frustrated when they're unable to manage their career and or fail at parenting. So, as we wrap up, I want to ask you, do you think that Tony really grasped what I was saying? You listening to me, do you understand what I'm saying? Does this topic hit home for you? Are you seeing any of these signs in your own life or relationships? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll continue this conversation in my next video where we'll be discussing the solution to Tony's friend's dilemma and where to find more information to help you explore how to identify the effects of toxic fatherhood and how to heal yourself from it if you've been a victim of toxic fatherhood. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, the like button, and share this video. And don't forget to check out the links in the description box if you'd like to support this channel through PayPal, Super Chat, Super Stickers, or buying me a coffee. Your support helps keep this channel running and helps me continue to bring you valuable content. Until next time, this is Wheezy signing out. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Ciao!